Iris was in the Somnium earlier.
Yes, we saw.
An unidentified figure tried to stab Iris to death. And Date and Iba...
Who is that figure?
Probably So himself.
True, he could imagine himself in his Somnium that way. Mr. Date's ego algorithm processed the figure into that particular image.
What are you people talking about? If you're quite done here, hurry up and release me.
So...
I didn't. Are you planning on acting dumb all night?
Yeah, weird how he didn't just say yes, isn't it?
How did you know Iris was stabbed? I heard it. What? On my way to this place, I heard that woman over there talking. Something about a girl who got stabbed in the back.
Are you talking about me?
Yes, you.
I don't remember exactly what I said.
Oh, she's giving in.
It's possible that I mentioned a body with stab wounds to the back.
You're playing along, aren't you?
Boss.
It is impossible to determine now. He very well may not have seen Iris's body.
No. He still must have. He was in the warehouse.
But does that mean we can conclude for certain that he saw the corpse?
Unfortunately, no.
I've been telling you I don't know anything. That's impossible. I saw Iris in your dream. You have to have some memory of her. What are you talking about? I don't understand a word of this.
Isn't it crazy how we plug all these people into this machine and never tell any of them what it does?
Come to think of it, I still haven't heard your explanation for this. 2 days ago, you called Shoko Nadami just after 9 p.m. Why? That is a private matter that I will not discuss with you. What were you doing at 5 p.m. 2 days ago? Reading a book at home. You can ask my housekeeper or my bodyguards. They will confirm that for you.
That does match what the bodyguard said earlier.
But they're like family to him. They're not above telling a lie to protect their boss.
Yeah, obviously, but we can't prove that.
Are you kidding me? You know that what we find in Somnium can't be submitted as evidence in court.
Wait. Then what's the fucking point? If we can't use any of it as evidence, what's even the point of it?
Besides, we don't even know for sure if that figure was so.
It was squeakers.
You said it was.
I said that it's probably him.
Excuse me? I'm right here. I can hear everything you're saying.
Yeah, and?
I saw it on the monitor. Iba saving Iris as she was being stabbed. Of course, since you and Iba are one and the same, it's like you saved her, Date.
No.
But that was just a dream. It's not real. Saving her in Somnium won't save her now. I'm sorry. No, nothing yet. They arrived a while ago, but that warehouse is owned by Okiura Fishery.
I know. Iba, can you check to see if it's the Okiura we know?
Search.
Pewter. Wait, we're
During
really
the
asking
The
this.
sinker, they enter the sub. At this time, the sinker.
Mm-hmm.
Picture an egg. The ego is the egg yolk that goes into the subject's brain. The sinker's memories are the whites, which remain in the shell. The sinker, or rather the sinker as their pure ego, experiences the subject's. But to be precise, it is not only ego. When synced, a modicum of memory data does get sent into the subject's brain. Imagine separating an egg yolk from its whites. No matter how you try, some of the egg whites will always stick to the yolk.
This is a strange analogy to me.
This is just like that.
That's a strange analogy. We're putting the yolk in the egg. Okay.
The subject of the sync remembers certain persons or objects that appear in Somnium. But they might not have a clear form. Our dreams are sometimes vague or unclear after all. Even the subject of the dream themselves. I told you earlier that the Sinker experiences the dream from the perspective of an observer. That is why the person creating the dream can appear within it. But perhaps they do not have an objective view of themselves, like a mirror or picture. Perhaps he's never watched himself on television.
No chance. He definitely has.
Rare for a politician, but not unheard of. He lacks that objective picture of himself. Objective picture of himself. He remains stoic and unattached despite his position of power. I find that quite powerful. To be able to put your ego aside and see yourself as God sees you is an ability many charismatic people share.
Dude, what the fuck are you talking about? That's some Sigmund Freud shit, the amount you read into that.
He may not have a rational, objective assessment of himself. So, even if this figure is ambiguous...
It could be so.
Indeed. Imagine the human brain as being made up of two elements. Memory and algorithmic structure.
I don't think I've ever heard that two distinctions before.
The former is preferable because the latter can be problematic. It can output things based on the inputs it is given. To make this easier to understand, compare this to a computer. Memory is like your data stored on a hard disk. The algorithm is the program. This program controls everything, from higher cognitive functions to primitive instinct. This program is what creates the phenomenon of consciousness.
Okay.
In short, it is your ego algorithm. What you call your mind. Recognition, cognition, consciousness. All of these processes are incomprehensible without the ego algorithm. However, the Wadjet system is revolutionizing the way we think about consciousness.
The Wadjet system controls my core programming.
Using Wadjet, we could map the neural circuitry of the human brain. And we discovered a specific circuit that is key to the phenomenon of consciousness. However, we human beings are still unable to fully grasp it. It's far too complicated. But even if we don't understand it, we can still use it.
That strikes me as being a terrible idea.
You don't have to understand electromagnetism to use a microwave oven.
No. But someone has to make it. Sure, I don't need to know how the microwave works, but like, somebody does need to know how it works, or I don't have it in the first place. It's not really the same thing.
The Wadjet system is how we are able to extract the Sinker's consciousness. That is what makes syncing possible.
Alright, that was some good mumbo jumbo.
Date, the investigation team is calling.
This is Date from Abyss. What happened?
Hey, sorry to call you out of the blue. There's something we want to check. It's now a good time.
Sure, what is it?
You said you found a body at Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse. The one at Ariake? Warehouse District?
It's not gone, is it?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Why? What happened?
It's, not here.
Fucking, of course.
What's not there?
We searched all over the warehouse. We didn't find any bodies.
Man, now we can't even prove that there was a murder.
What do you mean there's no body?
Not that that well, I suppose you can technically still prove a murder has happened without a body. But it's really fucking hard to do. Like, I can only think of one case offhand where that happened. And it was because it happened on a cruise ship. And the idea was that they just threw the body overboard. So they were able to convict them of murder without the body, but it's a very exceptional circumstance.
We looked everywhere, but nothing.
Date, I am not doubting you. However...
Oh, come on, Iba. That's why the battery died, huh?
Yes, I'm sure. I saw it. I know I saw it. I saw Iris's body with my own right eye.
Then perhaps someone moved the body.
Yes, that's exactly what's occurred.
Between the time we left and CSI arrived.
I mean, So had to have had a reason to come here, didn't he? So it's not exactly surprising that this has happened. Like, come on, Iba. What do you think's so wrong with Date that he's gonna hallucinate a body?
No, there's another possibility.
There is?
What? Where are we going? Elaborate? I don't understand. Ah!
Date?
Iris!
What are you doing? Barging in without ringing the doorbell?
Are you...
You see, Mizuki ended up staying at my place. Something wrong?
Are you the real Iris?
Changed.
What? Are you saying that Somnium had an effect on the real world? Is that what you're implying with that?
Iba and I saved Iris during the sink yesterday.
Why is this the assumption you're making? This is quite the jump, Date. We went into a dude's dream, my man. Why would you not assume a body double is involved somehow? That seems much more likely.
She wasn't killed.
Or... I don't understand how in the world you would make this conclusion. I would assume that either I saw a fake body or that that's not the real Iris.
True, but that was only a dream.
Maybe the dream changed reality.
Impossible.
Then how else would you explain it?
Body doubles.
Iris came back to life.
I can't believe that's the first conclusion he drew from that. I mean, from my perspective, of course, I can see that this is a video game. So I'm like, alright, I guess I'll accept that premise. But why on earth would you ever assume that if you were in the position?
Congressman Sajima is suspicious in more ways than one. Exhibit A. 3 days ago, So called Shoko Nadami's phone. We still don't know exactly why. He only told us it was meant to be private.
And but they all saw it as well. It's not like it undid the events. Obviously it did. It's like, you know, they all saw what we were doing in the Somnium. They saw that, he killed Iris. You know, it's not as if, time actually rewound.
Exhibit B.
Does that make sense?
Sajima
It's
was
fucked
at
up.
Okura Fishery Warehouse last night,
This was supposed to be about solving mysteries.
but he didn't inform us of this. There must be something he doesn't want us knowing. Exhibit C. So was in Iris's Somnium. Dreams are constructed from memories.
Wait. The voice line didn't match that, right? Did I mishear that? Did she just say so was in Iris's Somnium? Or am I going crazy and misheard?
Yet the good congressman denies he ever knew Iris. I sent him home yesterday.
You released him?
Date, look, you're the one saying that the world changed and Iris never got murdered. That means he hasn't committed a crime anymore, if that's true.
What was I supposed to do?
Like, come on. Date, you've got to accept your own premise here, you know? If Iris is alive, that means he has now never committed a murder. Which, you know, we know he did, but like, factually, he hasn't committed a crime anymore.
We can't hold him without solid proof. What we saw with Iris hasn't happened yet.
In any case, we have to speak with him again.
Speak to him about what?
Date and Iba saved Iris and Somnium, and that changed the history of the real world? Well, I guess it's not possible.
That isn't what you said yesterday.
That was then, this is now.
How can you accept a premise like this?
A woman's mind changes with the phases of the moon, you know?
Shut up.
No, it doesn't.
Anyway, I believe in Date.
That's insane, to be honest. Like, frankly, boss, that's a ridiculous opinion to have.
I trust him more than anyone else in Abyss.
I don't know, dude. I would not easily believe this.
Stranger things have been known to happen.
Have they?
2 days ago, Date found Iris's frozen corpse in Mizuki's Somnium. It must have been a prophecy.
Boss.
There's a lot of stuff in this world that can't be explained by science.
Bro. This is gonna sound weird, but I'm just thinking of the X-Files right now, where like Mulder believes in everything and Scully believes in none of it, even when Scully has observed supernatural events occurring. She literally gets thrown around by a poltergeist in one episode, and she still doesn't believe. Boss, with no actual evidence of anything occurring, is like, yep, sounds right, sure, You changed history by going into one dude's dream, that sounds correct. That's insane. That boss's knife for change is one of her good qualities. Not having beliefs is what she believes in. Shut the fuck up. That's how she established herself as a major player in the police department. Okay. Because she believed what she wanted to. Okay, bro.
Mizuki went to Bloom Park 3 nights ago. She was prompted by a Nile message from Renju.
I'm so... Like, we've gone now. We're now playing a game that's just like, oh yeah, essentially magic is just real. You know? Like... Magic's just a thing that exists in this world. You know, sure, we synced with technology, but it has achieved an effect that is essentially just witchcraft.
There are 3 possibilities. 1. Renju killed Shoko, or was an accessory to the murder. 2. Renju was threatened or blackmailed into luring Mizuki to the scene. 3. The culprit used Renju's phone to send the Nile message. In any case, the motive is still unknown. We need to talk to Renju.
Renju, where did you go?
You asked Mama at Marble for information regarding Renju Okiura, correct?
You were there.
It is possible she may have something for you by now.
Wouldn't she have called? I asked Moma for information too. But I had to promise him a meeting with Iris. Mama can wait for
We
now.
can talk to Iris's mom as well. She was Renju's classmate, right? Iba told me about her.
It is absurd.
Yes. Indeed.
Not possible.
I would agree. The thing is that, like, there's no way that a premise like that gets put forward in a game without it being actually, like, true. But Goddamn, that's really coming out of fucking nowhere at me right now.
Dreams are figments of the imagination. An incident which took place entirely in your mind cannot have any bearing on the real world. That is preposterous. Consider it. If you were to find money in your dream, does your bank account balance go up in reality?
If only.
If you were to be attacked by aliens in your dream, does a swarm of UFOs invade Earth?
But at the warehouse,
You must have been hallucinating.
I
Same
think...
as in Somnium, you saw Iris's frozen corpse.
I think that your assumption is also ludicrous. You know, like, have you ever observed Date do that before? Do you have any precedent for assuming that? I don't know why everybody is reaching such extreme conclusions, when it seems far more likely to assume that either the body was not really Iris, or the Iris currently alive is not really Iris. That seems like what everybody should have thought of first.
It is affecting your mental state.
Why would this be the case? I don't know. But, like, surely you'd think of that before going, ah yes, we changed reality.
Last night, you were so fazed by it that you couldn't speak. If it bothers you to this degree, why not go talk to Iris? Her cell phone is on. I can trace her via GPS. She is currently somewhere in the Lemnisky building. I have done some research. As the name suggests, the company is owned by the Okiuras. The same Okiuras we know.
Controller.
Renju's father created the company.
another connection to Renju.
No, actually.
Yeah, now we go through this. Mm-hmm.
The company has been managed. Renju holds no. In short,
But it can't be a coincidence.
it certainly is. I would suggest searching the warehouse. You may be able to discover why Iris was resurrected.
Why are you saying that?
There are 4 people I should talk to. Sosajima, Iris and Hitomi Sagan, and Mama. And I need to check the warehouse one more time.
We have many avenues of investigation.
Let's get moving.
I'm expecting the fishery to reveal nothing to us, so I'm gonna go there first. With Iba in my left eye socket, I walked into the cold storage warehouse. I could see my breath. I looked around, shivering. Nothing seemed changed from last night, though.
You first arrived here yesterday at 9 p.m. At that time, lying on this workbench was...
Iris's dead body, covered with a white cloth.
But the second time,
The corpse was gone.
it was 11:25 p.m. But the body could not have simply vanished. Crime scene investigation was here before 11:25 p.m.
When did they arrive?
According to the report, 10:30 p.m. after we finished sinking with So.
It took them an hour and a half to get here?
Correct.
Why did it take them so long?
Unknown. The report does not specify. Perhaps a result of outside influence.
Outside influence?
In any case, there is nothing of note about the bench. Examining it will not reveal any further information. A forklift. It doesn't seem like it's in use. It was likely just left here.
It do be icy.
A forklift. Nothing seems out.
Mm-hmm.
There are numerous cardboard, but there is nothing out.
Mm-hmm.
The crane on the ceiling. Nothing has changed.
Okay.
A switchboard. Nothing seems out.
Well,
Hi, I'm Jemimon.
what? That's not what I expected you to say.
Iba, the jokes, you've gotta stop.
So...
It's a wooden box. There is nothing in.
So what
There
then?
are only a few items on the shelf. It is likely that this ware.
So... what then? I don't see anything else here. I can't leave, so there must be something. Oh.
That machine is used to cut ice. Do they store ice here?
I really can't see very well in this room either. I mean, what do you want from me here? There's not a lot, exactly a lot here, is there? I feel like I'm losing my damn mind. Well, like... You know... Hello? Like... What do you want from me here?
Nothing.
Oh, you really just wanted me to, like, go through everything multiple
But
times?
finding nothing may, in fact, be something.
Like, they already said there was nothing to it. You just wanted me to exhaust the dialogue on everything. Okay.
What do you mean?
I was just thinking out loud. Let's get going. Date, your temperature is dropping. At this rate, they might find your body in here.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that was about as I expected. Alright, Sejima... So is probably going to tell us nothing. So let's go there.
So Sejima is a key person of interest in this case. Earlier, the boss cited 3 points of suspicion against him, and I agree with her assessment. I checked the call logs of So's phones. Congressman Sejima has one phone under his name, and a burner phone rented under a fake name.
Did you find anything interesting?
Real quick, how exactly have you linked that to it? Oh no, because we called him on that one. Right.
Unfortunately, no.
Really?
But I do have something. I looked into So's secretary's phone. One call in particular stood out to me.
Huh?
It was 1 week ago, from Fuchu Prison. The caller identified themselves as inmate number 89.
Number 89?
Yes, this is most likely the same person who called HQ.
I know who killed.
Okay.
Murder. He is serving a life sentence for multiple counts. He was imprisoned 6 years ago.
6 years ago?
From what I can determine, he is an assassin. He accepts jobs from the criminal underworld for substantial rewards. His code name is Falco.
Falco?
Correct.
The timeline.
Unknown.
You don't know?
He is not registered in any databases. He could be a foreigner or recent immigrant, but it would be impossible to determine from where. However, I did not detect any accent in his speech. I believe we can conclude that he grew up in Japan. Unknown. You would have to ask Mr. Sejima for that information.
Number 89 said he knew who killed Shoko.
He did, but that may be a lie.
Does he have any connections to the Cyclops serial killings?
Unknown. In all honesty, I have no idea.
Number 89.
Should we visit Fuchu Prison?
No, we don't have time.
Oh, come on, dude. Don't be
Call up
ridiculous.
boss. Tell her to request that number 89 be brought
Okay.
to us.
Roger.
Fair enough.
I heard there was no body found at the cold storage warehouse. Isn't your investigation over? How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know that girl.
Yeah, he's obviously not gonna say anything, is he?
I've never seen her before.
Date.
I knew he was lying. This proves it.
I am having difficulty determining his motive for lying.
Also, be real, dude. This doesn't prove a damn thing.
After all, Iris was not killed.
It's like, you know, lie detectors don't actually, they're not magic. They can't tell if you're lying. They're worth shit. All they actually do is determine how stressed you are, you know?
Maybe he's got a secret with her he doesn't want us knowing. What are you hiding so? You are beginning to irritate me. What did you want to talk to her about? What is the private matter you mentioned? What is your relationship with her? I'll answer your questions when you present a warrant.
Yeah, obviously he's not gonna say anything, is he?
I told you I will not answer that question. And why not? We didn't find anything there.
Why would he answer the question? It's like, look, we know he's an asshole, but it's entirely reasonable to just not say anything about the matter.
There's nothing to hide.
Like, regardless of your involvement, you know, unless you're being forced to answer, just don't, you know? Like, it's not worth the risk.
It appears that he will not respond.
People get arrested for something they didn't do all the time because they said shit unnecessarily, you know? Like, look. Don't trust the cops, you know? Just don't trust them.
Number 89. An inmate at Fuchu prison. He used to go by Falco. He was an assassin. Odd, finding such a person in Japan. What about him? About a week ago, he called your secretary. I don't know anything about that. He was probably calling for a pardon or some such nonsense. My secretary probably decided it wasn't worth my attention. If you need information, you can ask her. I can't help you.
Exactly what I expected.
People got enough.
Exactly what I expected, and entirely reasonable.
I'm very busy. Excuse me. Oh, actually, I do have one more thing to tell you. To be honest, Kaname Date, I don't like you. I don't ever want to see you again. So I suggest that you don't show your face here anymore. It's what's best for both of us. Understand? Who does this guy think he is?
Like, to be like, sure, he's an asshole, but like, none of that, except for that last part, none of that was exactly an unexpected answer, was it? You know? Like, it's like when everyone was really surprised after they let Renju go from questioning, and then they're like, he never called us. No, of fucking course he didn't. Why would he? You know, like, regardless of his personal involvement, why would he? Don't fucking get involved if you don't have to.
Date, your blood pressure is skyrocketing. Any higher could kill you. Relax, Date. We still have much to do.
I know.
My man out here like, dude, why won't he incriminate himself, you know? Like, why won't he just do that? Can't he see how inconvenienced I am that he isn't just confessing to me right now? Yeah, of fucking course he isn't, dude. Like, what did you really expect to get out of this encounter? Did you think he was just suddenly go, oh yeah, I killed Iris? You know, like, of course not. It's crazy. People have some weird expectations of people in this universe. I got released from my questioning. I got home and alright, hey, just to let you guys know, I got home safe and sound. Like, no, you know, whatever.
I'm sorry to waste your time, but I don't have anything for you.
I assumed.
I see.
I find it calming.
Why is that?
Don't ask me.
You know about Renju and the Kumakura gang, right?
Yeah, I heard it from his own mouth right here.
Do they have anything to do with the talent scandal at Lemniscate?
Maybe now they do, since Renju is the president of Lemniscate. But even before that, Renju and the Kumakuras go way back. All the way back to high school.
Hey, Date. Have you ever seen a dead body?
Weird thing to ask. After he and I went
You're
through a
policeman.
bottle.
I don't know what department, but I assume you aren't handing out traffic tickets. So, how about it?
I didn't answer. I turned the question around on
What
him.
about you?
Me? Well, yeah. Not just one, countless bodies. When I was in high school, I had a pretty crazy job. You know the Kumakura gang? I was hooked up to one of their phone fraud scams. I just had to go collect the money from drop points and give it to the Kumakuras.
Weird thing to suddenly confess out of nowhere. Maybe this is why Date assumed that So would just confess, you know? I don't understand. People just tell me about... I don't understand, dude. Why won't So tell me? People just randomly confess their crimes to me all the
It was
time.
an easy job. Eventually, I became friends with the higher-ups. They started taking me with them on jobs.
What jobs?
The target was always an elderly person from the country with no family. Elderly folk who owned a lot of land, you know? They live every day in loneliness and desperation.
Bro, my man is about to confess to witnessing some pretty severe crimes.
You just have to be nice to them. That's all it takes.
You know, now, with this extra context, maybe now I understand why Date has such unreasonable expectations of these people, you know?
Guys would get to know the old people and they would set up an adoption process. After that, you just have to get them really drunk. Throw them in the tub full of hot water, and they pass. Just like that. Heart attack, brain hemorrhage, or they simply go to sleep and drown. The police almost never investigated. It always looked natural, like they died of old age. So the adopted gang members would inherit the land. Then we sell it and make massive profits.
You know, like, what a thing to just suddenly be like, oh yeah, I've witnessed so many crimes.
I watched a lot of people get killed like that.
Why would you ever just say this to somebody? Especially when you know they're a cop. Why would you just say this?
And I've seen journalists get killed for getting too close to the truth.
And here I am now, telling you, in a public setting, about it.
So why am I telling you all this?
That's an excellent question.
Are you going to arrest me?
I probably would. I would.
You didn't do it yourself, right?
See, you'd like to assume that in this situation, wouldn't you? You'd like to assume that your friend didn't do it. But like, after they told you that to your face, wouldn't you start to wonder? You know? Like, these people trusted him enough to take him with them, right? Like, they trusted him enough to just let him know this was happening. This would seem to imply to me that he has a pretty deep connection, so I'd have to wonder if he did.
No, I was always the lookout. But still, Date,
Tears fell to the counter, unending. We didn't say another word until the ice in the glass had melted to nothing. Like, it'd be hard to just trust somebody in that situation, wouldn't it?
Oh, Falco?
You know him?
I know him as a famous assassin in the underworld. Just rumors, though. Nothing specific.
You knew his name was Falco.
What kind of rumors?
He's good. 100% success rate. No evidence.
Except for that time he got busted.
He was a world-class killer.
Did you ever meet him?
Nope. I don't even know what he looks like.
Any other info?
I know he's connected to the Kumakuras somehow.
Them again.
Well, that's about it. Well, I could use a little help down there, if you know what I mean.
I do not know what she means. Perhaps you should take her up on her offer.
Absolutely not.
You know, I'm actually flabbergasted that Aiba actually said she. You know, I have really low expectations of Spike Chunsoft at this point, you know?
I don't have anything else for you. Sorry, I'm not much help.
No, don't worry about it.
Can you come back again tonight? There's a regular here who is good friends with Ren. They should be here tonight. If you ask him, he might have some information for you.
Tonight?
Yes. I'll be waiting for you.
Alright, let's go here, I guess. Iris seems the most pertinent to talk to, so we'll save her for last.
I apologize for yesterday. I arrived uninvited.
No, I'm grateful. Thanks to you, Mizuki has her voice back.
Yeah, how fucking dare you cure my adopted daughter, right? Like, unbelievable. Now, it's all still a little sus, but how dare you?
I didn't do anything. Today's a holiday. I suppose there's never a day off for a detective. Oh, but you aren't a detective, right?
Technically, yes. But I still deal with crime.
I see. Today is a holiday.
Yes, I do still interface with crime, so yes, I'm something of a detective myself, you know. Yeah.
You forgot to.
What? I hand out the traffic tickets, don't I? I'm something of a detective. I'm detecting if the cars have committed a crime.
You asked me that yesterday.
Wait, that's not what that said at all.
Right from the hospital? I'm sorry. I have no idea.
Shocking.
I put Iris through so much. I was 19 and single when she was born. People didn't take kindly to that. But Iris was such a fighter. She always protected me. I remember, one time at the nursery, some of the other mothers were talking about me. Iris ran up to them and said, "Don't talk about my mommy." I'm supposed to be the mother, but it's Iris who's always protecting me. They died when I was 17. I was an orphan, and my relatives lived far away. They might have taken me in, but I was already in my second to last year of high school. It wasn't a good idea for me to move that late. So I decided to stay here, by myself.
And take care of Iris.
Yes. All alone, but Renju would help sometimes. It was always just me and her. Vacations, barbecues, zoos, amusement parks. Just me and her. Oh, that reminds me. When Iris was 5, there was a children's theater show in Bloom Park. It was called Milky Moon. It was about girls as magical space rangers and such.
I see.
She loved singing and dancing, even as a kid. Whenever she heard music, her body would start moving. It was a quirk of hers, and she did it at the show, too. Toward the end, when all the Milky Moon girls were dancing to the ending song, Iris climbed up onto the stage and danced with them. I tried to stop her, of course. I grabbed her arm and tried to get her to sit, but before I knew it, she was up there, dancing. And everyone was so excited.
This is astounding for a few reasons that this occurred.
Even I was dancing by the end of it. When it was over, she had the biggest smile on her face. "Mama, you're a good dancer." That's the kind of girl she was. Whenever she sees someone playing music on the street, she'll run up and join them, right then and there. Music at the train station, the crosswalk beeping, even at convenience stores. When their little chime played, she would start dancing. It almost got her into trouble once. She was on the jungle gym and a truck drove by. It was playing loud music out the windows. She climbed up to the top and started dancing, but she lost her balance and fell. She fractured her leg pretty badly. It was on a Sunday, and it was hard to find an open emergency care.
What? Really? That would be exceptionally easy where I live.
Carrying her on my back, running and running through town. I could still hear her crying. Will I still be able to dance, Mommy? Can I still dance?
Like, you couldn't just go to a hospital? Did the hospitals fucking close? Did they send everybody home on Sundays? Like, what the fuck?
Cried and cried into my shoulder. It was the only time she ever cried so much. No, that's not true. There was one other time.
Controller. Come on. Controller.
6 years ago, I was the victim of a shooting. After the surgery, Iris came in running. And she was sobbing.
Mommy, don't die! Don't die! Please don't die, Mommy! Don't die!
I swore to myself then that I would protect her, no matter what. Iris is everything to me, more important than my own life.
This makes that timeline where she died a lot worse.
Iris must really enjoy dancing.
Yes. I wonder where you picked up on that fact.
Though her drawing skills could use some work.
Oh god, look. It's hard. Every day I swear I'm getting worse at it, you know?
Skills.
Look at the drawing on the wall.
I've been wondering about that picture.
Iris drew it when she was 12.
That's you on the left and Iris in the middle, correct?
Yes,
And who's on the right?
the man I was dating at the time. It was only for 3 months, but
I already looked at it. I already looked at it.
I met him about 6 years ago. Have you been to the Kume Shrine in the Minato district? I was praying there one day, and I heard a voice. Well, more like a groan. Behind the shrine, I saw a man sitting on the ground. He was bleeding badly from his stomach. I took out my phone to call an ambulance, but he grabbed my wrist, and he held me, and then he kissed me. I was shocked, but when I stared into his eyes, then I heard footsteps, and then a bunch of men yelling. They were looking for him. When the voices and footsteps faded, he let me go.
I do think it's cool how there's multiple ways to gain the same pieces of information. You know, it's like, now I'm hearing that story from the other perspective.
Don't call an ambulance, and don't call the cops. I knew he had to be a criminal, so I took him to an underground clinic I knew.
You took him to a mob doctor?
Renju's friend. I only met him once. Even though we had our first kiss seconds after meeting each other, it took a long time before I got to see him again. The first time we held hands was when we watched a horror movie together. The first time I took his arm was when we went to a haunted house in an amusement park. But I wasn't the one who grabbed him. A zombie jumped out and scared us, and he clung onto my arm.
Ha, what a little bitch.
He had that cute side to him. And I was falling in love. Our second kiss was in the car. It's cliché, I know. But we drove around at night, looking at all the lights. We parked our car near a warehouse and kissed. I don't think we ever said I love you, but we both knew. We were getting closer and closer.
But alas, he was a nasty crime boy. What can you do?
I introduced him to Iris about a month after I first met him. Iris never had a father figure in her life before.
Oh, yo, look at that fucking cat pin. Oh, yeah, let's go. Now that's a cat right there.
She warmed up to him immediately and treated him like a real dad. From then on, it was always the three of us together. We would go to the beach, to the river, the zoo, the amusement park. Going to barbecues with another person was a new experience for me and Iris. Everything felt so fresh. Every day was so
Whoops.
Oh, sorry. You asked about the picture. You wanted to make okonomiyaki one day. He was working with the hot plate. It was ridiculous. He was trying to flip one, and it flew up in the air and landed right on my head. Iris saw the whole thing and laughed and laughed. I hadn't seen her laugh like that in a long time. I was having so much fun that I put an okonomiyaki on their heads too. Plop, plop. I added the bonito flakes and mayo and sauce. At this point, there was no going back. Eggs flew, flour going everywhere. The room was not a pretty sight. After our battle, we laughed like crazy. We were rolling around on the floor. So Iris decided to draw it. It's nostalgic.
See, I was sitting here wondering if, like, she had some prophetic vision, because it looked like they all had halos.
But those days didn't last. 6 years ago, in November, a man with a gun broke into our house. Fortunately, Iris wasn't home at the time, but my boyfriend was. That's why the gunman came. He wanted to kill him. He wanted to kill him, and he would never stop.
If we didn't hear the other side of this first, we'd have totally different context.
He pulled the trigger. I tried to protect him. The bullet hit me, but the police arrived. They were both arrested and incarcerated.
Why was he after your boyfriend?
Before he met me, he committed some terrible crime.
Except we know he was actually after her.
I don't know the details, but it was awful. So he became a target for underworld criminals. I don't know exactly why, but I know that he betrayed them in some way.
May I ask you something?
Man, we would have a totally different understanding of that incident right now.
Of course.
I had heard that incident was a random break-in gone wrong.
Oh. That's not true. I lied about it at the time, because of Mizuki. Mizuki is Iris's friend. If she found out, Iris would find out too. I didn't want Iris to know.
Know what?
That I was dating a criminal. It was her father figure. Iris looked up to him. If she found out about his past...
Okay.
Date, we can't spend time reminiscing.
I like how you say this after we've been here for like 30 minutes.
We have to get moving.
Yeah, let's go.
You know, we've been here a long time. I was kind of wondering if she was ever going to stop talking.